Okay, let's dive right into this. We're going to talk about a phone that was so powerful, it kicked off an immediate and absolutely brutal war between some of the world's biggest tech giants.
And look, this isn't some hypothetical what-if scenario. This is exactly what went down in December 2025. A new AI phone launches and bam, within 48 hours, it's blacklisted. A move that fast, that decisive, it just makes you ask, what in the world was on this phone that made it so incredibly threatening?
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's insane. December 1st, the phone hits the market. By December 3rd, just 2 days later, the biggest apps on the planet, we're talking WeChat, Alipay, they've slammed the door shut. And by the next day, early adopters are finding their accounts frozen. The powers that be didn't just dislike this phone, they tried to execute it on the spot.
So, to really get why the industry had such a violent reaction, we've got to peel back the layers and look at what this phone's AI could actually do.
You know this feeling, right? We live with it every single day. This constant frustration of jumping between what you could call app islands just to do one simple task. You want to buy something? Okay, open the shopping app, then jump to a review app, then copy a link and paste it into a messaging app to show a friend. That annoying little dance? That's interaction friction, and it's the exact problem this new AI was built to completely demolish. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. On the one hand, you've got the old way, this clumsy, manual, multi-step process that we've all just kind of gotten used to. But then, look at the AI way. One simple command, one seamless action. It's a total paradigm shift. Instead of you doing all the work for your phone's AI agent goes out and does all the work for you.
And this right here, this is the secret sauce. It's a technology called a large action model, or a LAM for short. Now you've heard of large language models, they just chat with you. A large action model is different. It understands your goal, your intent, and then it actually goes and operates other apps to make it happen. You know, it's the difference between having an assistant who can talk about dinner reservations versus one who actually goes online and books the table for you.
So how does it pull this off? It sounds like magic, but it's really this deceptively simple three-step process. First, you give a command. Then the AI uses something called screen understanding to literally see the apps on your phone, just like you would. And finally, it uses the phone's built-in accessibility features, the tools made to help people with disabilities, to simulate taps and swipes on the screen, navigating through everything to get the job done. Pretty clever, right?
Okay, so we get the tech, but to really understand why this was basically seen as an active war, we have to understand the battlefield itself, the existing power structure of the mobile internet.
It's kind of funny, but analysts use a concept straight out of biology to explain this digital world. It's called ecological niche theory. The idea is that every app is like a species in an ecosystem. They all have their own little territory, and they're all competing for the same scarce resources, your attention and your data.
And in this digital ecosystem, the landscape isn't some wide-open prairie. Oh no, it's a series of massive, privately owned walled gardens. These are the closed-off platforms where we spend pretty much all of our time, and they're controlled by a handful of incredibly powerful companies.
And inside these gardens, you have what ecologists would call keystone species. These are the giants, the super apps like WeChat. Their entire existence defines the ecosystem around them, and their whole business model depends on one thing: keeping you inside their walls, where they control everything you see, everything you do, and everything you buy.
So let's be clear about their game plan. It's all about being the gatekeeper. They control the entrance, that moment you tap their app icon. From there, their only goal is to keep you inside their world for as long as possible so they can sell your attention to advertisers and control the flow of every last bit of your data.
All right, so now we get to the confrontation. Let's look at how this new AI agent was seen not just as a competitor, but as a genuine, lethal threat. One that triggered what you could call a digital immune response.
Now, this is great because it just cuts right through all the corporate PR. The official reason for the ban was, of course, security and privacy. And yeah, sure, there are some valid concerns there. But the real reasons, the existential threats, that was all business. It was about losing control of the user, losing all that ad money, and worst of all, being turned into nothing more than a dumb pipe, an irrelevant utility running in the background.
And this quote just captures the attitude perfectly. This is the unspoken message. The super apps basically saw this AI as some unauthorized super secretary trying to barge into their private office, read their files, and deal with their clients directly. It was a hostile invasion of their turf.
So how did they actually block it? Well, their defense system was incredibly slick. Think of it like a digital immune system. They used behavioral biometrics to tell the difference between a clumsy human finger and the inhumanly fast, perfectly precise taps of an AI. They could also fingerprint the specific software tools the AI was using to see the screen and instantly flag it as a foreign body.
But the number one threat, the thing that really kept them up at night, is a concept called disintermediation. It's a fancy word that just means being cut out of the middle. See, if the AI agent is the one talking to you and getting things done, then the super app is no longer in charge. It loses that direct relationship with you, and all its power just evaporates.
But it gets worse. There's a second, almost more sinister threat: data vampirism. Every time this AI used a super app to book a ride or order food, it wasn't just using the service. It was learning from it. It was sucking out incredibly valuable data on pricing, user habits, you name it. And all that data got fed right back to its creator, making the competing AI smarter and stronger, all on the super app's time.
So this whole episode, this one phone, it effectively pulled the curtain back and showed us a massive fundamental shift in where the real power in the tech world is heading.
And this right here illustrates that shift perfectly. The old way to build an empire in tech was to get the most app installs and hoard the most user data inside your walled garden. But the new source of power, that's based on something completely different. It's about who has the smartest AI model and who controls the APIs that let these agents do their work.
So what we're seeing emerge is this new three-way power struggle for control of your digital life. You've got the phone's operating system, you've got the super apps living on top of it, and now you've got this new player in the game, the AI agent. And all three of them are fighting to be the one that acts on your behalf.
So, when you really think about it, the Nubia Z70 Ultra, it wasn't just a phone. Even if it didn't sell millions, it served as a historic pressure test. It was the catalyst that forced the entire industry to show its hand, to reveal its biggest fears and its true plans for the future. That immediate, fierce reaction proved just how disruptive this new AI paradigm really is.
And that leaves us with one final, really big thought. For years, the big tech battle was for your attention, for your eyeballs, your screen time. But that war is basically over. The next great war is for something much deeper, much more personal. It's for your intent. It's a fight over who gets the ultimate privilege of understanding what you want and then acting on it for you. The real question is, who do you actually want to win?